What's happening, gang? How is everyone doing out there in the world today? Good to see that we've got 9 people watching. Woohoo! We've got Billy in the room. Good morning. Are you wearing your Rolex? I am not wearing my Rolex today. Get into that in a second. Good morning, McAllen Drinker. No, I am wearing my new watch. It's here on the screen. I'll make myself bigger. So I made an AD purchase. Another Omega. A long skinny bag without a box, but with a pouch and a 007. And card holders on the back, and you got a watch tool with it. Yay. Yay, watch tools. But I don't see myself using the pouch very much. It's a nice pouch, but you got to take the watch apart to use it. So you probably won't be doing much of that. But I picked up the Omega Seamaster Professional 300M 007 edition, otherwise known as the No Time to Die. In grade 2 titanium on the titanium mesh. It's a wonderful summer watch. It's light. It is under 100 grams. I think it's like 93, 94, 5 grams, something like that. It's light. I mean, very light. Really cool. It's part of my master plan since Brian isn't here and he was on vacation this week. So we announced that he might be doing some streams, but then he was on vacation this week. Excuse me. So I doubt that we're going to see him today, but part of my master plan to populate the world with watches with no dates. Simple, symmetrical, beautiful 3-hand watches. That's my plan. I think I know what's next. And it also doesn't have a date. Who needs a date? Who needs a GMT? Brian's not here to defend. Brian's not here to be offended that I bought another Omega, aka, in his opinion, a Swatch Group shitter. Because it is indeed one of those. But what the hell? I like them. Why wouldn't anyone else? It's a great watch. And as much as people love those big display boxes and stuff, this is easier to store. It's kind of cool. It's got the little 007 on it. Things I like about the watch. It's very muted. It's titanium. It's light. It's all satin finished with the Stibe manufactured Milanese bracelet. So it doesn't have, it's not a big flashy watch. It's a little under the radar, if you will, when you see it. Some lights it looks a little darker. Some lights it looks a little more tropical. Got like a dark chocolate dial and bezel. The bezel is loomed on this edition, which is cool. You know, I love a good loom bezel. Orko, how are you? Good to see Orko in the chat. Howdy. How is everyone doing out there in the world? Anyone else pick anything up? The link is pinned at the top if anyone wants to join the panel. We always like a good guest. Like I said, Brian's on vacation. I doubt that we're going to see him today. But it is what it is. Please don't forget to hit the like button and upvote the stream. And 6 likes so far. Appreciate that. But I don't know. What else is going on? Anybody got anything going on out there? Peoples. Peoples? Anything? Nothing? Nothing going on out there? Huh. Well, that's weird. We shall see. Let's see what else is going on out there. Anthony says, "How are you liking the No Time to Die?" Hi, Anthony. How are you? It's good to meet you at the Norcane event here in Western Pennsylvania. I really like it. It's really, really comfortable to wear, especially in this heat we've been having. It's really light. It's really light for the interim. For the interim, or go for the interim. We shall see. I think I'm going. I think I really like these kind of simple dial watches. We look at that watch. It's just 3 lines of text top, 3 lines of text bottom, the broad arrow. The symmetry of a no date, no sub register, no GMT watch is hard to beat. Still have a couple little quirks with the Monet's bracelet on the straight links and the helium escape valve in the broad arrow. I also like that it doesn't have any, aside from the broad arrow, which really isn't 007. It has no 007 on the front, just on the back. Now, I prefer an open case back, but on this one, it does make it a little bit thinner than your standard 300M diver, which is nice. And it is a coaxial master chronometer caliber 8806, which is just basically the 8800 with no date. It does not have a ghost position, which is nice. Excuse me. Like I said, the loom is amazing on these, like it is on all Seamasters, and it is a loomed bezel as well. Now, it is an aluminum bezel and an aluminum dial, and it is designed to patina over time. It's one of the reasons that they did it. That each individual watch will take on its own character. How cool is that? I don't know. But it is what it is. For a reminder to everyone, we actually prefer super stickers over super chats. I'm going to read your chat. That's what the show's all about. But super stickers, if I can make over and above the YouTube fees, I think it's $100 a month I need to make to get paid. And that will pay for the StreamYard and such, which would be good. Let's see. But I don't know. What else is going on out there in the world? We've got 16 people watching and nobody chatting. 13 people watching. We lost 3. There you go. But the No Time to Die is an amazing watch. I've wanted it for a long, long time. I've had some objections, mainly price objections with the watch, because it's really expensive for a Seamaster. It's almost double the price of a regular Seamaster. Now, it is titanium, but you're also paying a pretty hefty bond tax in there as well. I'm assuming it is the watch that Daniel Craig wore in No Time to Die. He did have some help in the design element of the watch. But it is what it is. I like the look of it. I'm a big James Bond fan, so that doesn't hurt. But you do lose some of the you lose some of the polish. You lose the ceramic bezel and dial. You lose the wave pattern. You lose the exhibition back. Those are all things to be considered on this watch. I searched for a deal on one that was like a year or two old. I found that the prices were kind of creeping up on this watch, on the secondary. And I think that's because people were anticipating when they announce whoever the new Bond is going to be, that they're going to discontinue this watch. So I dialed up my local AD that our good friend Anthony actually got me to go visit, and got a deal. What can you do for me on this watch? And I got a deal. It's beautiful. What do you think? What do you guys think? I was at the Joyce's Jewelers getting a deal on a watch. Went and picked it up on Tuesday. So I unboxed it actually on JJ's, and re-unboxed it last night on the Franchise Club. I'm the only person I think to unbox a watch on the Franchise Club, and I did it twice with the Rolex and the Omega. Look at that. I'm like a superhero. I don't know about that. Billy says it's 4th of July weekend. That's coming up. So most people on vacation, not me. I'm working. I work on every holiday. I work Labor Day and Memorial Day, but not the 4th. We're closed on the 4th. But we'll be in on that on the Saturday after. I think the 4th is on Friday this year. So retail automotive, we work a lot. I put in 55, 60 hours a week. But I do that so that I can do things that I enjoy. One of the things I enjoy, buying these silly watches, much like the rest of you or the rest of us. But that being said, let's take a look at what's going on in the world out there. I didn't make breakfast this morning. I wasn't feeling that great. My stomach was a little upset. I did make breakfast the other day. I made a country fried steak and eggs with some fried potatoes, a little bit of a corn cake that I made. That was actually a mix that I used. Chi-Chi's mix with some, I think it was water, butter, and cream corn that you add to the mix. Bake that up. It's delicious. If you see it in your local supermarket, I recommend it. A little bit of sourdough toast, because who doesn't love that? Sunny side up egg, and some country gravy. Not sausage gravy, just the country gravy. But it was delicious. What did you guys have for breakfast? Anybody have anything good for breakfast? Anybody doing anything? The chat's not moving. The guests aren't coming. This is going to be a short stream. I'm feeling a short stream. We are a chat-dependent stream. When there's no one chatting, well, I might as well just, I can hang out by myself. That's the way this works. Brian's on vacation. Hopefully this week he's going to do a couple evening streams or afternoon streams. So set your notifications. Subscribe and set your notifications. You never know when he's going to be on. You never know when I'm going to be on. With this level of participation, maybe not often. But we got 17 people in the room watching. Woo-hoo! Let's see what we got going on. What else is going on here? Anything happening in the world? Anybody got anything they want to talk about? I don't know. Let's see how many upvotes we got. We've got 14 upvotes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate those. I do. But in the world going on, I don't know what else we got going on. Let's see what's going on Mark's Instagram. Obviously, we've been loving the new No Time to Die. It is an absolutely beautiful watch. Also, still love this watch. This watch is damn near perfect. Yeah. The symmetry, the wearing experience, the brush to polish, the gold indices and handset and crown. In fact, it's two very minimalistic, 2 lines of text at the top, 2 lines of text at the bottom. It doesn't crowd the dial. It's just gorgeous. Just a gorgeous watch. I said the new No Time to Die. It's hard to get a good loom shot picture with your phone, but that is the loom on the bezel. As always, the minute hand and the pip are in green, so they're easier to line up and read. And the rest is in the blue. Bit of cuts. But this thing, bam. Thousands less than the No Time to Die at retail, and yet much more popular because everyone loves the crown. People love the Rolex. They're very, very happy. Anthony, thank you so much for the super chat. Again, super chat's not necessary, but we do appreciate them. We're trying to keep the lights on. I checked out that full bronze gold SMP yesterday. It's tempting. The one with the red bezel. Let's go over to our good friends at Joyce's and check out their Omega selection. Share this tab. You won't find on here No Time to Die because I bought it. But they did have, when I was in there, they had this. There we go. This watch is beautiful. Expensive, but it's gorgeous. It is an absolutely stunning watch in person. Now, it's bronze gold, so it's kind of a weird mix. You have to like it. It seems expensive for bronze gold, but what a freaking beautiful watch. And that burgundy bezel, that as well as an aluminum bezel. Same caliber, 8806, so it's a no date. It's just stunning. They had this one too. So this one's a lot more. So this is the titanium bracelet. So this is very similar to the watch that I bought. It does have some gold in it. So you're paying for the gold on this at 11.3 versus 10.6 for the No Time to Die. The titanium bracelet is the same. Now this has the open case back, so it would be a hair thicker, not much, but a little bit thicker. And it would have the it's got the bronze gold bezel, helium escape valve, and crown. At 11.3. And I'm sure it's a hair heavier because there is some gold in it, but not much. That titanium bracelet is so good. Anthony says, I didn't expect to like it so much in person. I know, it's scary when you see these things. It's crazy. Because you think, I don't think I want that. And then you see it in person, you're like, damn, that actually happened to me with this at first. When I first saw it, I was like, it's okay. And then I saw one in person. I was like, damn. And then I saw one a couple weeks ago at the Market District. Someone was wearing one. Not really a watch guy, because he really didn't want to, or at least not someone who wanted to talk about watches. Because he didn't. But I saw it. I was like, I still like that watch. And that's actually what got one of the things that started getting the juices flowing again. And then, so I have an issue. You want to hear my issue? This watch has a closed case back, all right, which is fine. It's got the broad arrow on it, and that's the place where you'll find your only 007 insigniation on the watch. But because it's closed case back, and because there's so many fakes of this watch, that going through them online, trying to find a quality person and a quality used one and a good deal became harder and harder and harder. So when they offered me a deal on the new one, there was a little bit of a peace of mind with that as well, where I wasn't thinking that I might be getting taken advantage of or buying a fake watch, or maybe some of the parts inside weren't right, because you can't see it. So if you see the movement, and if you've had any of these, you're pretty familiar with the movement. It's pretty easy to tell if there's something off in the back of the watch when you see it in person, or even in good pictures. Because I've had a number of coaxials, but when it's a closed case back, you don't have that. Now it does have the what do they call it, the natal lock, so it always lines up up and down, in the same position when you close the case back, and it helps with the water resistance. But I don't know. Billy says if you buy that Gold Omega, you're out of your mind unless you have so much money you want to throw it away. That watch is worth 35% when you walk out the door. We're certain in buying a car. Oh, I don't know about 35%. Remember, Omega watch to dealer costs 55%, so nobody's going to give you 50% money. They can buy a new one for 55%. That's true and untrue. I've traded in watches. Omega is at good deals. It really depends on the market, what they think they can pay, what they can get for it. So if you can get a watch at a good enough deal back, and you move something out of your inventory, it's no different than the car. If I can move something out of my inventory and get a trade. So there was a few deals we did yesterday and the day before where I took in a beautiful 2013 Mustang convertible. It was in really nice shape. I took in a 23 WRX. I took in a 23 Outback. Took in some nice, late model Jeeps. So those are like double deals. So yeah, if you can buy it for 55% from the factory, but you can't always get them. And if you can buy one and you trade one into them, to them that's another deal. So they're going to sell that watch cheaper than they would sell the new one, even though so the margin is going to be smaller. And that's like getting two watch deals. Plus they get credit. So it's the same thing we do. You get credit for the new cars that we sell. So when we sell new cars, the margins are slim, but there's, if you hit certain levels, you get bonuses. If you hit a certain model, like Ram trucks, they have bonuses on right now. If you sell so many Ram trucks, you get bonus money. If you sell so many cars, you get bonus money. If your customer satisfaction index on new cars is at a certain point, you'll get bonus money. So there's other ways that you make money. So it's not strictly the margins, and I'm sure it's probably the same in the watch industry. I'm sure that there's ways that they make money, but I'm also certain that they're always looking for trade-ins. So they had their case wasn't, isn't that full like it normally is. So I'm sure they're looking for stuff. So let's see. You only got the top dollar for the watches because you bought a new watch traded in. They made money on the other watches, similar to buying a car. If you just want to sell the watch, you can get. Only when you trade it in, they'll give you extra money. If you sell it outright, you won't, because I'm making money on the other watch. Like that's a car. I don't care what kind of Omega watch it is. You can ask if you go and sell it outright, you'll get 35 to 40. See, I don't think that's true because I've sold a lot of Omegas as well. I've sold, I've owned a bazillion of them. And it really depends on what the market is and what the watch is. Which the no time to dies are creeping up. So they're, year or two old, they're 7 in the 8s. For watch that the new price is 10.6. It was 10 up until February or March, or April, whenever they did the price increase. That watch has crept up considerably. I think it started out when it came out in 2019 at about $8,500. Those watches are creeping back up on the market. And although it's not a limited edition run, it's not something you walk into NEAD and see 5 of in the case either. It's a limited. They don't make a ton of them because it is an expensive Seamaster. It really depends on what it is, what you buy. But it's probably a good time to move on from the Spy Rate because it doesn't look like they're going to do anything with the further with the Spy Rate. They haven't introduced it into any of the other models, and that watch seems to be coming down in the marketplace right now. You just, let's see. Yeah, but you have sold them or traded them for other watches. That's the difference. Yeah, well, I've sold them and bought other watches. But here's Anthony makes a good point too. You have to go through. Yeah, I go through a lot of magazines. You just have to get a discount on new. I haven't taken more than a $500,000 hit on any individual watch. Yeah, I don't. So if you can get 20% off new, that's a completely different, story as well. Which a lot of times you can on certain. It's not like buying a Rolex where you're buying it at retail, and if the market crashes and you're done, you're buying it at a discount to come, at the beginning. So I don't know. I liked them. I was happy. Hey, Billy, $5 super chat for the internet. For the internet. Thank you, sir. We do appreciate that. Again, we you don't have to super chat to have your chats read. This is a chat-based show. So if you just want to make a super sticker or something every once in a while, so $100 is where they'll pay you from YouTube. And they take 30%, whatever other fees they take. It's ridiculous. But that pays the StreamYard and stuff so that we keep the shows going. Like I said, Brian will be back from vacation this week, so hopefully he's going to be doing a stream or 2 or 3 during the week. He has keys to the channel. He can fire those up, so make sure your notifications are on because I don't know that he has a schedule. So I did this Sunday. I wasn't necessarily going to do one this week, but because he hadn't been on all week, he was in California. I saw he met Kesselwitz actually while he was out there. I figured I would pop on and do a stream today. We are discussing the merits of buying and or not buying an Omega and what you get back out of it. But if you get a good discount on it up front, or if you find a good deal on one used, you can get back out of those watches. I remember I bought that summer blue Aquaterra, which the dial on that is amazing. The problem with that watch is I didn't care for the light blue rubber strap that it was on. And the regular Aquaterra bracelet is tedious. It's not a great bracelet. The new bracelet's nice. I wish I had just put that on all the Aquaterras. That would just make it a lot easier. But I bought that. It was a 3-month-old watch. And I held on to it for a few months. And the light blue strap was getting old. I didn't know if I wanted to put it on anything else. So I sold it. And I made $200 on it. When? After the, it was like after the eBay fees and stuff. I bought the other Aquaterra, the turquoise. And beautiful watch, but again, didn't go with it. Like, didn't match anything I wore. So it really stood out. Really flashy. But I turned around, I got a nice discount on that watch when I bought it. I turned around, I got my money back out of it. I didn't lose a penny on that watch. I might have made $8, but that's fine. I didn't buy it and sell it to make money. I bought it because I thought I would really like it, which it did, and I didn't. But I was able to get out of it. There's a lot of watches that are worse than Omega, like Breitling and Tudor. You can't even find a dealer that will take them unless you're selling for nothing. Yeah. I had that Tudor, on the 5-link bracelet with the red bezel and the Metaserve case. That was a nice watch. I didn't wear it very often, and it was it was okay. And again, I might have lost a couple $100. I traded that in on the CK59. Probably lost like $300 on it. But that's, again, I don't buy and sell them to make money. I buy them because I think I'm going to want it and love it and wear it. Sometimes you don't, you know. But you know, it's not like I'm taking huge hits on any of the ones that I've moved on from. If you're smart, it's fine. Great new pickup, says John D. Love that no time to die in every way. Beauty, and it's light. Can't stress how light this is. Did you check out those new Super Ocean Heritage models? Took a quick peek at them. It's not my favorite watch. I don't know why. I'll tell you a couple other things about why I bought this watch, or what this watch accomplishes for me. The No Time to Die. Make it big since John D's here. He loves it so much. The Super Heritage is an okay model line. It's just not my favorite. So, couple things. This watch I didn't have really a traditional dive watch, a nice dive watch. So I have a 300-meter dive. It's a great summer watch because it's really light. It's under 100 grams. It also so that way I don't need to buy an aqua timer. I have a dive watch. I also don't need to buy another Legend diver because I have something on a mesh strap with straight bars that I like. There you go. Clicks a lot of stuff. Hits a lot of buttons. Billy says absolutely none of us buy them to make money, but we get bored of them and we want to change. And I don't like to lose a lot. I don't mind losing a little bit. Yeah, exactly. I don't mind losing a little bit. You get to enjoy something, experience it. And sometimes, even when you try it on at the AD and you're convinced this is one, sometimes it's not. That's not the case with this. I'm totally infatuated with this, and I'm totally infatuated with the Oyster Perpetual. But there's times that you start to wear, like I said, like some of those blue watches, the summer blue, that light blue strap, for a while, I don't like wearing it. And I thought, do I change the strap or do I get rid of the watch? I got rid of the watch. Same thing with the turquoise. It didn't go with anything. It was a beautiful watch. It just didn't match anything. It was really flashy for me. So I moved on from it. As long as I can get back out of them. Even beyond the movie connection, the No Time to Die Omega is just special. I think it's the best signature. I think it really is. With the titanium, the fact that it's going to patina over time on the dial and on the bezel, that's kind of built into it. The look is just amazing. The lume on the bezel, there's so many things I like about it. Hey, Mark, I've been really debating the new 39mm Doxa 200T. Have you considered that watch in the 42.5 size? Thoughts on the watch in general? All right, so I am a big Sub 200 fan, and they just came out. Well, it's not in the stores yet. I'm trying to find one to buy because it's a $1,000 watch. Let me show you the one that I love, and then we'll look at your T as well. I believe Exquisite is a dealer for them. Let's go to the Doxa. Oh, let me share the tab. So this is the watch that I like. Oh, jeez. Here's an ad. I like this Sub 200 Shark Hunter, this new one with the steel bezel and on the rubber strap, because it kind of gives it that Doxa skin diver look. I know a lot of people like that beads of rice bracelet, but it's not available yet. I've checked here, Teddy Baldassar, Doxa.com. And all the pictures are out of it, but the watch itself is not available. I love this orange Doxa on the crown. I like that watch. I always like the Sub 200. Always been a fan of that. And when that becomes available, I will probably pick one of those up. And that is a 42, I believe, right? Let's get on here. The case. 42 and a half, yeah. 14 millimeters thick. A little bit thicker than this. 200 meters water resistance. But I love the this new bezel on that. And I kind of like that traditional looking skin diver rubber strap. It's just kind of a fun mess around watch, if you will. So it's a nice watch, $20,000. It's something I would buy. Looks very nice, but I would want the Beat the Race bracelet. Yeah, I don't need the Beat the Race on that because that would be kind of a beater, and it doesn't look. It looks good on the Beat the Race. They have that one too. Well, they don't have either one of them. You can request information everywhere, but you can't actually buy the watch. And you can get these in all the different colors. I just like this black. I also like the name Shark Hunter. I think it's cool. I like the handset. I like the second hand. I just and it's nice to Beat the Race as well. I just kind of wanted that traditional skin diver look, which you get from the rubber strap. Now the 200T. Let's see what I find. Let's see. 250T. What the heck is that? Here we go. Here's the 200T. So I believe this is just a shrunken 300T. Now this one's in stock. You can buy this one. But this is on the Beats of Rice. These are Doxa cool watches. I'm actually a big fan. Parker says, I've definitely looked at the all white one on the white strap. Good looking watch. It is. The Sub 200 is 14 millimeters thick. Let's see what the 200T is. Get to the specs. Wow, it's thinner. It's 10.7. Huh. Well, that one's a cushion case. Whereas the other one's a standard case. Wonder if that has something to do with it. I'm not sure. But it's a cool watch. I mean, Doxa makes cool watches. It's kind of like a if you know, you know kind of a brand. Yeah. Yeah, everything about these Doxa watches is kind of cool. The design language is definitely there. They've got a little bit of, excuse me. They do interesting colors. Like you go through there, you can get these in all kinds of. Like Worker likes the white one. They make a Tiffany blue. The orange, obviously, is the icon of the brand. That's just a kind of different. Billy says that's usually a heavy watch. Give the weight on there. They put the weight on here. They normally don't. It's 316L steel, 3-hand dive watch, unidirectional. Nope. I'm pretty sure that's a Salida in there, isn't it? Movement wise. Good morning, Doc Nick. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We got 24 people watching this ludicrous madness. and 19 upvotes. Cool. If you haven't hit the upvote, please do. Andy says the new Doxers now offer a sunray dial as well as the matte version. Debating on picking up on if it fits my wrist. History with Jacques Cousteau. Yes. Doxers are cool. I like them. Like I said, I love that sub 200 Shark Hunter. It's always been my favorite, but you can get these in so many different colors and variations. And this is the original sub 200 Shark Hunter. It's fine, but that new one with the that stainless bezel is really sick looking in my mind. And when you pair that with the here's one that Orca likes, I think, the white on white. White on white, translucent black keeps back on the rack. That was from, I can't remember the name of the group. It's Bella Lugosi's Dead. Kind of a gothy song. But yeah, that watch is cool. Like I said, my favorite is the, what's on the first page, right? And if I bought it, I would want it on this skin diver strap. I just think it's kind of cool looking. Look at that thing. Just a sweet, simple, brushed polish, cool bezel, cool autograph on the crown. Just a cool watch. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Doxas. Orange is not the winner? What is the winner? So John D says, interesting diving information found on fellow YouTube watch blogger Eric King. The color of the dial really impacts visibility at depths. Orange, not the winner. I know they push those orange ones, not just Doxa, other brands as well. Back in the kind of the 70s when they would test that stuff out. But this one for me, that's the one. And when it's available, I will probably unbox, unveil, show you guys one here live on the stream. But it says usually no discount on the Doxa. And usually when you buy new, they want as much, or used, they want as much as the new one. But who cares? It's only $1,000 watch. It's a lot of money. Yeah, I hate to say it's only $1,000 watch. It's still expensive, but in comparison to some of the other stuff that we love, desire, buy, sell, trade, yeah, it's definitely not in the expensive tier. But for $1,000, it's a heck of a piece of kit, if you will. This sub 200 with this new bezel, I just think it just pops for me. And like I said, I always liked the sub 200 in general, but this new bezel really makes it watch. I said I imagine that when they become available for sale and in stock, I will buy one from either Exquisite Timepieces or Teddy Bulbasaur. They carry them, and I just think it's cool. Lightweight length and depth makes blue in a greenish tone the best, as per his master diver course. It's cool. This is the sub 200 Shark Hunter. I don't know if it has anything else in the name. 796.10.101.20. I believe this is the one with the longer strap, because they make these in long and short straps, so you have some variety. Let's head over to the Doxa website here. Probably easier to pull something. Because I am a fan. Let's see, Doxa watches. Come on. There we go. There's a yellow one. Like I said, what's cool is you can get these in so many different colors and varieties, cases. It makes something for everyone, probably from like $1 to $3,000 or $4,000. I would imagine is about as high. Yeah, white pearl is 4,090. That was, I think that's about the high end for the Doxas. Here's your 200Ts. Let's see if they have put the weight in on these. We had a question about the weight, or is this going to be like every other website and it's not want to work? I don't want diamonds. I just want sub 200T. Oh, shit, I missed it. It was right there. Let's see what will if they put the weight on this sucker in the technical data. I don't see it. Nope. But at that size, I can't imagine that's a super heavy watch. So the professionals are the orange. Oh, here's your Sunray. This is the Sunray you were talking about. Check it out. Pretty slick. I love a good Sunray dial. It was one of the things that attracted me to the Rolex I bought. Was that the black had the Sunray dial. When I was comparing it to the Explorer 40. But these sub 200s are where it's at for me. I just love these watches. The newer to Sunray in the sub 200. No. This one I always liked. It was a little flat with the black bezel. But these new ones with the stainless bezel are slick as shit. Again, you can get these in all the different colors. Caribbean is the blue. What was the white called? The Sea Rambler. Shark Hunters are the black. The Diving Stars are the yellow. Aquamarine is your Tiffany-ish blue. That's good looking too. If you like that color, you look for something in that color. That's a cool watch. The whites like Orco lights. You get those in the stainless or the white bezel. The green has a Sunray. That's the Sea Emerald. And you can buy extra straps. Cheap. $290 for a stainless steel beads of rice bracelet. $250 for the rubber strap with the buckle. That's cheap. See, this Tiffany one, I would almost say would look better. It's because I like the Tiffany on the beads of rice. You could buy a black strap for that. That would be kind of cool looking. Same thing with the yellow. You could do a black strap on the yellow, not make it as bright. Like the blue strap on the Caribbean. Again, I like these new bezels. So that's what really attracted me to these. I like the white as well with the new bezel and the black strap. Yeah, see where it says here, you got rubber standard or rubber small. So you can get either size on the strap. Just got to be careful to make sure you get the one that is properly fitted for your wrist. Believe it or not, most cheap cycle watches are $700 or $800 now. CEO prices went crazy. Yes. The aquamarine dial and Sunray is what I'm leaning to, but also the green is really nice too. Yeah, green, yeah, both of them are nice. Bradley said, I love the new channel name. I changed it to Luchabetic Underground a couple months ago, I think. Kind of fit the theme. But thank you. But yeah, these new Doxas are cool. Let's go see. You said the Aquamarine Sunray 200T, right? Oh yeah, all these 200Ts, I guess, come in some form of sunray as well. Oh, look at this. It's a beautiful watch. It's really cool. I like the sunray on the Tiffany better. Cool looking. Oh, and you get the Tiffany signed crown on this one instead of the traditional orange. Yeah, these are badass watches. I like them. I like them a lot. I'm a big Doxa fan. Yeah, that's cool. Sunray dial makes it a little more interesting. Gives it a little pop, I think. Yeah, I would be very encouraging of anyone looking at a Doxa. I think they're cool watches, and they make different stuff. I prefer the traditional watch case. That's why the sub 200 non-T, if you will, is more my style. But they make the cushion cases. Those are more the traditional Jacques Cousteau looking watches. The 200Ts, the 300Ts. There's another one they make that I always that I would take a peek at here and there. What's that case called? It was a little bit different. Was it the 600T? I think it was the 600T. Looks almost more of an integrated bracelet look. So this one I'd have to get on the bracelet. But yeah, I thought this was kind of cool. Good too. And it says Shark Hunter on the front. Who doesn't love that? That's a cool looking watch as well. What do these go for? $15.90. Still not bad. Not bad. Let's see. That is a 40 millimeter case on that one instead of 42 and a half. But slick. Very, very slick. 4 o'clock crown. Very cool watches. Big fan. I'm a big fan. Thanks for bringing them up. Got BW, and I think I saw we were chatting. I might have missed saying good morning to Johnny O. Yes, Johnny O. Good morning, BW. Good morning, Johnny O. As always, thanks for stopping by. We got how many upvotes were we up to? Holy crap, 23 upvotes. Thank you guys. I do appreciate that. Billy says it's usually a heavy watch. I don't mind a heavy watch. I like this one for just summer because it is light. That was one of the attractions. But I've had many heavy watches. It didn't really bother me that much. Hell, that Oreo was 17.3 millimeters thick and heavy on the bracelet, I must say. But Doxa makes cool watches, and they have a little bit of like a history to them, and the Jacques Cousteau and everything is kind of cool. But again, once this is released to the public, I'm going to buy one of these. I mean, I already know. I've already inquired. I just think this is just such a good looking skin divery kind of watch. You know? Look at that thing. Stainless steel bezel, orange signature on the crown. It's real kind of basic and fun. Rubber strap. No frills. Cool diver watch, 200 meters. What else do you really need? What else do we really need? But yeah, those are cool. Thanks, John D. Thanks for bringing those up. The link is pinned at the top if anybody wants to join the panel. Help Lucha save his voice. Been talking all week at the dealership. Monday is the last day of the month, so exceptionally busy here lately. But that's okay. That's what we want. Selling the cars, taking in the trade. Like I said, when we were talking about value coming back, if you trade in a watch on something, that's like trading in a car. Yeah, if you trade in a good car or you trade in a good watch, that's like getting two deals because you're selling the new product and you're going to sell whatever you trade in. And it's hard to come by good stuff, quality stuff that you're not buying online. If I go out to the auctions to buy cars, they're expensive. If I can trade them, right. We'll take a shorter deal on a new car if there's a good trade. Because we know we're going to sell that trade. I can use that trade. And the trade adds value to the entire store because the trade needs to go through the shop and be certified and inspected. So the shop's making money. The parts department is making money. And the used car department is making money. I'm sure this is a very similar experience in the watch industry. You have to look at the overall, not just cost of ownership. So when we're appraising a car, yeah, you have to look at a lot of different things. You have to look as what's it going to need to be able to be put on the lot? What's it going, does it need tires? Does it have scratches or paint chips? Or does it need windshield chips or a cracked windshield? How's the interior? What's it going to cost to detail it? What's it going to cost to get it front line ready? The costs that people don't normally associate with the car. Marine Layer says, thoughts on the new Furlan Mori? I owned a Furlan Mori. I owned a Rosso Grigio for a hot minute. But it was a tiny watch. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of it. I may be able to. I may have that kind of technology here. Hold on. Let's see what we got. There it is. I own the Furlan Mori Rosso Grigio. It was a cool watch. It was a neat watch, but it was really small, and it had really small. The lug width was really small too, which made it wear even smaller. But it came with two straps. It came with cool story. It was kind of a cool watch. I kind of after that really haven't paid much attention to the Marine Layer. Do they have anything new out? Anything Lucha sized? I want to say that watch was $600. I bought it direct from Furlan Mori, and it was a beautiful watch. It's funny, I sold it on eBay. I got my money back out of it because they were kind of hot at the time. And when I sold it on eBay, the guy, I sent a message to the guy like, I wish I would have known that you were 20 miles away. I could have just brought you the watch instead of paying for shipping, But it was neat. Came in cool packaging and stuff. It was not a bad piece. It was a Mecha Quartz. I'm always a fan of the Mecha Quartz movements. That's the one you're looking at, Marine Layer? Yeah, it's a cool watch. We'll head on over to the Furlan Mori website, see if they got anything new. I haven't been over here. Furlan Mori. official website. Boom. So yeah, these are the, yes, you know, you want to feed the diabetic cookies. I get it. All these websites don't care. They just don't care. Cool looking watches. I love these sector dial ones, but again, I don't think these are very big. Yeah, 37 and a half. Jupre movement in those, but they're cool looking. Do a really nice job with these pieces. You know, these are automatics in the sector dial. Applied indices and Arabics. And the lugs are really cool on these watches. It's just I don't have the wrist for it really. I mean, it really, really looked like a tiny watch, like a teeny tiny watch on me. Looks like maybe the lugs are a little bigger on this one. They're 20. That would help a little bit. But yeah, these are cool watches. I'm a fan of them. I just and their price wise they're amazing. Yeah, I believe they're out of Asia, or maybe Singapore. I'm not sure, but they're good looking pieces that aren't super expensive. Let's see, do they still make the Rosso Grigio? Let's see, can't find. I can quartz bunch of this. Out of stock, restock soon. There it is. Another Rosso Grigio. Yeah, $585. Yeah, I think with like shipping and it was right around $600 when I got it. But it's a good looking piece. It really is. You know, if you, like I said, if I had the wrist for it, I would have kept it because it wasn't super expensive. It was kind of cool. This was saying 20 millimeter lugs now as well, tapering down to 16. So they may have increased that a little bit because I thought mine was like 18 instead of on the strap. It was tiny. I love their crowns. Yeah, you get two straps. You got the gray and the red strap with it, which was kind of cool. Yeah, just plain case back. They do put like a little, I can't see it on here. Let me see if I have a picture of it. Hold on. Because one thing was kind of cool. Yeah, here. Show this picture. So on the case side, on the bottom of the case, says Furlan Marley, and then it has your number. It's like mine was number 1251 maybe, or 125. I can't tell. And I can't remember. I think it was like 1250, something like that. Which I thought that was kind of a cool little touch that they put on there. Yeah, this is kind of Calatrava looking watches. Let's see. See all watches. These small seconds ones were popular as well. I like the sector dials that they did. I thought they did a nice job of those. Oh, the Disco Verdes. Those were automatic small second watches with the pop out crown. Disco Celeste, Disco Havana. Yeah, I mean, for what they do, I always say I respected them. Like I said, I thought it was a little small for my wrist, but hey, who am I to judge? But these sector dial watches, I just thought were really, really well done. I'm a sucker for a good sector dial. They're just kind of small. They're just kind of small for me. But if you like it and you have the wrist for it, it's not a big investment and it's a really cool, attractive watch. It gets a lot, it's got some eyeball to it, that's for sure. And they do. There's things that they do to make them, like their lugs on these, the pushers are cool looking. That little stamped, with your serial number and your stuff on the side. You get a cool little case with it. You get a like paperwork and stuff. So for a less expensive watch, they do a lot to make the experience nice. These 3 o'clock small seconds dial pusher, or it's pulsation. It's different. This might be a new one. Yeah, $585. It's hard to beat the value on these watches. What's the most you're gonna lose? $600 on something like that if you sold it for nothing. But it's cool looking. It really punches above its weight, if you will. You get a lot for a little, I think. And this one's cool looking too, with the gray on gray. We'll be back in stock soon on this one. But the applied aerobics, the Mecha Quartz is just kind of a cool movement for a cheap movement. Hard to beat. Cool looking handset, cool looking pushers. Yeah, Italian leather straps. Just good looking. Just do a nice job with them in general. Yeah, the crown's cool. The crown's cool on it. Those pushers. Those are kind of neat. But if you needed a quick dress watch, that would be one way to go. I don't think it took long to get, because I was looking at them online. They were expensive. People were selling for a lot of money, and a lot of them were sold out. But they had the Rosso Grigio in stock, so I bought it direct from them. And it didn't take super long to get there. And quick release spring bars, 2 straps. It's kind of a neat little package that it came in. Let's see if I have a picture of that. There you go. A neat watch box, It was just a nice little thing. I think they started as a Kickstarter and grew from there. We got 27 people watching this garbage. Oh my Lord. 24 upvotes. That means there's a few people that haven't hit the like button. Dear God. Oh, the humanity. We like to get to 30 likes on the stream. Like by the end of the week, be some 300-400 viewers and a few super stickers to pay the StreamYard bill, and we're good to go. Remember, send some super stickers. And the reason I say that is I'm going to pull up your chat anyway. I am a big fan of the chat. That's why I do this, to chat with you guys. And the link is pinned at the top if anybody wants to join the panel. Brian is on vacation. He will be doing some weekday streams. He catfished me into coming back. But that's fine. Really, just already hit the like button. Thank you. But that's how we know that you enjoy what we're doing and we come back and do it more. That's all. Anything else? We talked about Doxa. We talked about Ferlin Mari. Anything else that anybody wants to talk about? going on out there in the world. We've talked about my new No Time to Die, which I finally purchased. I got it new at the AD. Like I said, I really looked around for a deal on one. I think this watch is going to be discontinued when they announce the new bond. And I say that because Teddy Baldassar and a couple other people have said that once they announce the new bond, that this will be discontinued. I love the deployment. I love the fact that it's hard to say, but it's even stamped Omega on the front of the band. Here, in fact, let me take it apart. It's easier to show you the back. So the back on this is a closed case back. And it does have the broad arrow. It has some numbers on there to signify that it would be Navy because Bond was an admiral, or not an admiral, commander in the British Navy, which is rank. It also has a 007 and a 62 for the year of Dr. No came out. And it's just, like I said, the biggest thing is the weight. It's so light. And with the lume bezel, it's really cool. I love the look. I'm not the biggest faux patina fan normally, but with the chocolate brown dial and bezel, it actually, I don't know what else you would put on. You would have, you know what I mean? I don't know what else you could do for that. I love the way that this thing works. You just plug this thing in. Whoop. Find your hole. Snap it in. So it's actually like a double lock. So you have the lock where you put it into the gusset, and then you have the lock. You have the twin lock on the back. Like Father Artifact says, so light you rarely know you have it on. It's really a light watch. I mean, it's under 100 grams. It is super light, but it's really cool looking, and it's kind of muted. It doesn't have any polish on it. You guys know normally brush and polish is what I like. This is brush and brush. So it doesn't stand out a lot. It's really kind of stealthy as far as nicer watches go. But I am a big fan. Get a better image of it here. The one thing that I do not care for, as someone who likes to take pictures of his watches throughout the week, what I'm wearing, on Instagram, this only has AR coating underneath. And I know a lot of people don't like the top AR coating, but it makes a difference. You get a lot of glare when you try to take pictures of this watch. A lot of reflection. So it's hard to get a good dial picture. I got one here. But coaxial master chronometer, 8806 in there, 300 meters water resistance. I love the little bit of red on the Seamaster text and the tip of the second hand. Three reasons I prefer this over the 60th anniversary edition. A, I'm not crazy with that weird thing on the back of the 60th anniversary. It doesn't really do much for me. B, I like a traditional pip instead of the 60 at the top that is on the 60th anniversary edition Bond watch. And I like the what's the other thing? There was one other thing. It's the second hand. So the second hand on the 60th anniversary is that goofy, this is a lollipop second, if you will, but it's lollipop isn't at the end. I like my second hand to point at the second markers, not just to be a big circle that covers up two of them at a time. Let me pull up a picture of what I'm talking about. Let's see. These guys have watches. I'm already on Exquisite's website. I know. There it is. All right, so this is the 60th anniversary Bond watch in stainless mesh bracelet. It's going to be a much heavier watch. But see the second hand. See how the tip of the second hand is round. It's not my favorite thing. The 60 at the top instead of the triangle. Not my favorite thing. This little spirally shooting Bond thing on the back doesn't do much for me. Also, it's thicker. So when you look at this watch here, see the gap here, okay, between the straight bar. See how much case shows. This one shows a lot less of the case because it's a thinner watch. It's like almost a millimeter thinner. So it doesn't. You're not looking straight at the case side of that. And it's got a huge box instead of a little pouch that's easier to store. Let's see if they have a picture of. Do they have enough time to do it? I don't know. Oh, there it is. They do have one. But if you want one, please go to Joyce's Jewelers and buy one. But so the watch is thinner, see, so what you see with the side of the case isn't as dramatic as it is on the 60th. They don't have that same kind of side chop. Here's the back that I was telling you about. Maybe. There it is. So it's the naiad lock, so it's always going to screw into that position. Obviously, diver 300 amps, 300 meters, 1,000 feet. Got your 007 on the bottom. Smart titanium. And then these numbers, this 0552, I believe, says Navy 923-7787, I believe, signifies that it's a diver's watch. A is screwed on crown, 007 is 007, and 62 is the year that Dr. No, the first of the traditional Bond franchise movies, with Dr. No, was released in 1962. It's hard to believe that this watch has been out since 19. On the hands and everything. Yeah, so you always have green on your minute hand and on your pip, or on the case of the 60th, on the 60 to help you line up for diving. And again, I prefer the triangle because I think it lines up better. BW says, if the dial wasn't brown, I would love this. Oh, I think the brown is one of the things that makes the tropical dial kind of makes that watch a little bit because it's different, you know. But let's see if I can show you on my wrist. You saw how much of the case side showed above the straight bar on that 60th in that picture. But on this one, because the watch in titanium and with the closed case back is thinner, you don't get quite as much of that. So it's not as dramatic of a look. Marcelo, good morning, sir. BW says, I don't do brown. It's tropical. Call it tropical. You'll feel better about it. Call it a tropical dial. In some lights, it looks much darker. It goes from almost black to like a deep chocolate to a brown, depending on the light that you're in. I'm sure Father Artifact, you have no time to die, I'm sure. An extensive collection, I'm sure you could support me on what I'm saying there as far as the color goes. And the fact that it's titanium and it's brushed and there's no polish, it just sort of works as a package, if you will. Just, I don't know what it is. It just works. There's your pouch. Boom. See how much darker it looks in that picture? It really does darken up. I like the broad arrows, kind of cool on the front. Gives it a little bit of a different look. No wave pattern. No shiny ceramic dial and bezel. I don't know. It works for me. It works for me. I've always liked the watch. Like I said, it's an expensive Seamaster, which is probably why it took me so long to finally pull the trigger on it. But trying to find a deal on one was damn near impossible. Or an acceptable deal. One that wasn't really, wanted it, I was looking for a year or two old because I wanted to make sure I had some warranty on it and, stuff like that. But buying a new one actually ended up being the better deal. And if you're looking for an Omega, please reach out to my good friends at Joyce's Jewelers. Ask for Zach or Tim in the watch shop. Those guys are amazing. They're one of the top Omega dealers in the state of Pennsylvania, and they've always got a great selection of Omegas. Pretty much anything you might be looking for is usually either there or they can get it for you rather quickly. I like this new Railmaster, except for the size, 38, and the fact that it's really Aquaterra looking now, much more Aquaterra looking. Not sure. I don't know. You guys tell me. Speedmaster 57s, Speedies, always lots of Speedies in stock. But yeah, they've always got a really nice selection of watches. I got some of the Aquaterra shades. We got a couple of the World Timers. I think we just got in the gray titanium. Yeah, they did. So that's the other day. The gray titanium World Timer. Go look and watch. On the gray rubber strap. I've always been a fan of the blue. Wish they made a better bracelet for it. It's cool World Timer. One of the more interesting World Timers you're going to find, I would say. Definitely good stuff. BW, I'm gonna flip this video up that I put up at the beginning of this show. It's just like a minute. Excuse me. Take a look at this and look at the colors, how it even changes in the video. It's not. I don't think the brown is as striking as you want. I'm not trying to convince you to buy one. I'm just trying to show you what I see in the watch. You see there how it goes from from darker to lighter brown to almost blackish. PW says, when you said chocolate brown, you ruined it for me. I ruined it. I'd love to see one. It's cool looking when you see it. It's really a nice watch. Like I said, light as light can be. Easy to wear. Excuse me. Pardon me. It was in the 90s most of the week. A lot of pollen and stuff too. And then it rained. It's got some thunderstorms and some big rain. But rough week talking on the showroom floor. Losing my voice. The link is pinned if anybody wants to join the panel. Excuse me, of the 20 people still watching. Where are we at on our upvotes? 25. I need 5 more upvotes to get to 30. The 30 makes me happy. And don't we want a happy Luchabetic? I don't know. I don't know what you think as far as that kind of thing goes. But it is what it is. But yeah, I unboxed on JJ's channel on Tuesday night, and then I did the whole kind of re-unboxed it last night for the franchise club. Curly was off fishing, so I think they were looking for a little watch content real quick, so we unboxed the watch. What are you gonna do? It happens. Hopefully everyone else in the world is having a good day. Made some chicken the other night on the grill, some green beans and some rice. Always delicious. Didn't make country fried steak and eggs. I think we shared that earlier in the week. Didn't make breakfast. Well, my stomach was a little upset this morning. I don't know what was going on. Do that. The watch kind of matches the trail rated badge on the 392 Hemi Wrangler on my showroom. What do you know? But from a comfortability standpoint, whew, super comfortable watch. I'm happy. I was excited when I went and picked it up because I kind of wanted this watch almost since it came out, since the first time I saw one. So to finally just put an end to that and just say I got it. We've talked about it on here before. Like I said, there are reasons that I didn't like, mainly pricing reasons and things that you gave up, like the exhibition back, like the ceramic bezel, like the ceramic dial. Some of the things you didn't get on this watch that you get on a traditional 300M. And I mean, this thing, the list price on this is now $10,600. It's an expensive Seamaster. I think standard steel Seamaster on a bracelet is, correct me if I'm wrong, it's right around $663 maybe 59 on the rubber now. So at 10.6, it's getting close to double. And it's but it's a heck of a watch. It really is. Treble! Listening brief for me today, Lucio. I will upvote when I can. Yes, please. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Monsieur Treble. But yeah. Here's what it is. The heart wants what the heart wants. And my heart was like, I like this. And my evil plan of having three-handed, no-date watches just to piss off Brian. Now I have 2 of those in my collection because I just also, as you guys probably know, if you didn't and you weren't on last week or saw me unbox it somewhere else, I did pick up this black OP from the AD. And in many ways, I consider this the perfect watch. It has perfect symmetry. The light play off those white gold indices, crown, and handset is amazing. I prefer the baton hands over the Mercedes. The no date, no cyclops makes me happy. The polished bezel with the white gold against the brushed satin finish oyster bracelet is cool, but give you a little bit of pop on the sides because you get to polish on the sides of the bracelet and the sides of the files. In many ways, like I said, in many ways, it's the perfect watch. We'll throw this one on for a minute. Hold on 1 second. My return to Rolex after 12, 13 years. And I just went with a simple watch. I said I've always liked that Explorer 40, but there was something. The big thing was the sunburst finish on the dial, and the fact that the case was a little bit bigger, the dial aperture was a little bit wider. You see the little bit of the sunburst, and it's just cool. It's just a great watch. And like I said, the symmetry of it, when you look at it, it just kind of looks perfect. Like all these watches, all these complications and GMT hands and chronographs and all this crap. But that watch is damn near perfect looking. 2 lines of text top, 2 lines of text bottom. You know, the only thing interrupting the indices is the crown, is the white gold crown, which is not a bad thing. But it just, you know, from the satin finish, you know, the polished case sides, the taper on the bracelet, the symmetry of the dial, and the sunburst. The fact that the black kind of goes with everything. Everybody goes crazy about all these colors that they release, but the black goes with everything, and it really in a lot of lights and in the sunlight it takes on, because of that sunburst dial, it really takes on like a gray effect. It's beautiful out and about. Like I said, that watch is almost $4,000 cheaper than the No Time to Die, but it's, if people see either one, this is the one they comment on because it just looks, it's a Rolex and it's just got a little bit of pop to it. And that little bit of pop is, I think, what makes it stand out, because the gold indices, the polished bezel really pop on that satin finished bracelet. It really makes an interesting look, and people notice it. People do notice it. Cool watch. For, again, I don't want to say cheap, because with taxes, a hair over $7,000, but I mean, that's not cheap, but it's not expensive either in comparison to so many of the more hype pieces. But it's another one. I'll tell you, people always say, oh, you need to get something on a Jubilee. Oyster bracelet might be the most comfortable bracelet I've ever worn. I kind of forgot because it's been a long time, but it is so comfortable. Nice thing with an oyster bracelet on a Rolex, I don't have to size it. It just fits. But it's really comfortable, wears really well, a lot of pop for not a lot of money, comparatively speaking. It's stainless, it's 904L steel. I could have this watch, I could have either of these watches forever. There's No Time to Die on the screen. I could have that forever. It's I prefer the coaxial movement versus the chronology escapement, but they're both really well done, mass produced luxury watches. The No Time to Die is a little more special as far as watch circles go, and the amount of watches that they make and all that kind of thing. But this is special in the look. And again, I'm going to show it again, but look at this. I mean, seriously, what more do you really need? And I like the fact that the dial is its own thing. It doesn't look like every other Rolex. One of my big issues with Rolex is you get an Explorer 2, a Submariner, a GMT Master, a Sea Dweller, a Deep Sea. The dial is the same on every one of those freaking watches. Whereas this with the Sunburst and the the double batons at 3, 6, and 9, just the minimal amount of text. To me, it's the perfect everyday wristwatch. How do you beat it? But you don't have that goofy Cyclops ruining the look of the dial. And without the goofy Cyclops, it doesn't attract quite as much attention. So you're a little safer in bad areas wearing this watch. It's just cool. It's a great watch. I think both these watches, this one on the screen and this one on my wrist, you could have these forever. Pass them on. No one's ever going to say anything. You'll have your hype boys and your snobs that'll be like, it's just an Oyster Perpetual. That's right. Because when you look at the history of Rolex, the Oyster case, the Perpetual winding movement, combined into the original Oyster Perpetual models, this is a legacy piece in a lot of ways. It's not as small as a Daytona or a GMT Master. It's not as big as a Sea Dweller or a Deep Sea. But it's just the right size, the right configuration, the right dial. Like I said, the new lacquer dial black and the lacquer dial blue they come out with, because the blue is really the one I was most interested in with the Sunray. But the black with the Sunray works with more, as far as anything you wear, you can wear a black dial. Some of the blues and stuff can don't look good with some things. Like I said, at work, we wear black, gray, and on Friday we wear yellow polos. So it works. Both these watches actually work with the color schemes of the dealership, plus the spy rate. But it's just me. Going to take a look at our boys and see what we got in the pre-owned market today. I do not get paid by Joyce's Jewelers, but they do give me good deals on watches. If you're looking for a good deal on a watch, this actually seems like a deal for some reason to me. It's $67.50. This is a January 2025 card, two-tone Seamaster Diver 300, and whoever purchased this bought the deployment class for the rubber. So that's a different band and a different. It doesn't have the tang. Good looking watch. $67.50 seems like a deal for that watch to me. I was looking at that. I was actually looking at that when I bought this one, but I like this one. Cartier Ballon Bleu. Trying to see if there's anything else on here. It looks like a deal. They got one of these new top times in stock at 5,100. I think this is 6 something new. This is the green dial, green leather strap version. These are 38 millimeters, a little small for me. These are good looking watches. Again, if I had the wrist for something like this, I would love to have this watch. Exhibition case back, kind of a cool piece, Again, you see anything on here, reach out to Zach or Tim. They're good dudes. Well, I like going there because, they got another Steeler watch back in on trade. I wonder if it's the same one. They had this new, and then they took one in on trade. So this is the bullet bracelet with the NFL Pittsburgh Steeler version. If you're a Steeler fan, there you go. I love the bullet bracelet. I'm not crazy about the NFL markings on the watch, but if you are, there it is. If I see anything else new on here, they might have got Pelagos 39, it looks like, with the red text. Horaces think that they got. There it is. I love this one. I would probably never buy it because I would probably never wear it. But I love the dial on this Sun Wukong limited edition Oris. I think the dial on this is cool. So it's based on Chinese anime about the Monkey King, but he's got this wand, which is why the second hand is the red with the yellow tips on the other side. It's made to look like the wand that the Monkey King has. And then this you see this blue pattern, this lighter blue pattern that goes through the watch. It's like I guess he spins the wand. I'm not a big anime guy. I don't really know the story or anything. Ceramic bezel, super cool watch. Only made 2,000 of them. If you're looking for something like this, that is a cool ass looking piece. Look at that dial. It's so different. And it's got the Monkey King on the back. That is number 24 out of 2,000. Pretty slick. Now I would imagine that they sold this one new. Muhammad Ali, how are you, sir? Yes, I am having a great summer. I hope you are too. I need some breakfast pictures from you because I was a little lax today. I am a little lax. Liberty Spot says, I'm digging the Black Bay 58 silver. I didn't think I would like a three-handed, but I'm changing my mind, and it's silver. I like the dial on that watch. Hold on, let's look one of those up. Hold on. Let's see if we can't pull one of these suckers up. Oh, the silver has the regular indices. It's the bronze that has the 369, but it's still cool looking watch. Here we go. Let's pull this up so you can see it. Found one here on Chrono 24. Look at that. Nice looking piece. Peter makes nice watches. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm at least have one of my favorite breakfasts. Hold on, we'll get to that. Let's take a look at this Black Bay 58. So the 58 is 39 millimeter case. Looks like there's some kind of deployment on this one. I'm not sure if that's always the case. Slick. I like Tudor watches. I know there are people. Oh no, it's a tank. There are people and stuff that like to rip on Tudor. I think they make nice looking watches. I am a fan. Watches on wood. How are you, sir? Watch on wood. I did not buy an aqua timer. I bought a No Time to Die instead. Oh shit! I'm not took it off. Whoops! I bought this instead of a aqua timer or a Black Bay or a Submariner or a what was the other thing? Oh, Longines Legend Diver. This will fit the bill for those watches. Every spot says he got it for under $3K full set on eBay auction. That's awesome. That seems like a good price. Because when I'm looking at these ones, these things all seem to be over $3K. Except for one. One, two. This doesn't have the factory strap. This has the NATO. Yeah, seems like a good deal. Very cool. Good deal. This one's got both straps. I think it's a factory tuner strap. Yeah, maybe not. I'm not sure. It's a nano. Oh, both OEM straps. Yeah, full set. Very cool. That's awesome. That's a cool watch. I'm curious. Oh, so you got the like this one I'm showing here with the leather and the NATO. It's very cool full set. Curious how that patina's over time with the silver. I imagine it would have some. I guess it depends on the alloys that they put in there with it. Well, someone says it was only a matter of time before you know time. It's true. It's true. The pin buckle is also sold with free gold. It's a cool watch. It is. He said the 58s. For me, it's the 39 millimeter cases, and my favorite's a little small for me. But what a cool pickup. I mean, under $3,000 for the full set with both straps. Where are you going? That's a great pickup. You know, and Tudor makes great watch. That Black Bay 41 I had on the 5 link with the red bezel, the burgundy bezel. That was a great watch. You know, there's nothing wrong with that watch at all. I think I have one. Let's see, we're at our upvote count. 26. I need 4 more upvotes, guys, to get to 30. But let me go to my channel. I believe in here I have. Okay, I do. Share this tab. Some of the watches I've had over while we've been doing the show, anyway. Okay. That was my Black Bay 58 on the 5 link. It was a beautiful watch. Polished side cases. The only thing I didn't like about the watch, the red, I could really take her leave. They come out with a monochrome after I got that. That polished center on the clasp scratched like crazy. It's so polished. It's so polished. I think the new 68s don't have it's brushed back there, which is better. But the bracelet on that was really nice. It was the closest thing to an actual Jubilee. And on the 5 link, you didn't get the faux rivets, which I liked. But we were talking about stuff I moved, like reason you move on from stuff. This watch, the dial on this summer blue Aquaterra is amazing. That the bracelet stunk on that, and that rubber strap, I just got tired of the light blue rubber strap. I didn't know if I wanted to get a different strap for it, if I wanted to get I ended up just moving on from it. It was a pretty watch. The actual dial is amazing on that thing. And I didn't lose my shirt either. I bought it right, got out of it. I think I made like $8. I think that's the one I made like $8 total when I penciled on. That watch was disappointing. Actually, the service experience with JLC was disappointing. The watch itself is gorgeous. It's a JLC Polaris no date. That's another no date watch. Brian, if you're listening, take that. Obviously, the Spirate, the Creamsicle. There's another one. This watch is really flashy, even more flashy than this video. But it just didn't go with much. It's a gorgeous watch. It didn't go with much. The other thing it's missing is the polished indices. So it's got the PVD indices. I like the polished indices on the Aquaterras. I don't know. Call me kooky. And then go over and pull up. I believe I have a breakfast picture to share with you from our good friend Mo. Oh, look at this thing. Hold on, let me share this. Check this thing out. That was some sort of egg, bacon, and cheese croissant. Oh, that looks amazing. The person who eats better breakfast than me is Mo. Well, always has a great breakfast. Let's see. I missed where are we at here? Washington Wood says, I love the BB 925. The color is like no other. I had two. One pristine used. Couldn't bring myself to wear it. Bought another, bit more used, and I'm putting marks on it. Way too easy. Armagoo says, I swapped out the silver pin buckle and added a stainless steel deployant on his BB 925. Much more comfortable. See, I'm a big deployant guy, so I get what you did there. Because I love me a good deployant. Esoteric says, I heat treated an Uncle Jubilee to get good color match for my 925. People say it will damage the watch, but it hasn't been my experience. 3 years and counting. So a lot of people have experience with this watch. That's cool. Because it's a cool watch. But people like to try different straps or buckles. Dag says, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Dag. The NHL draft was this weekend. Of course, I always think of Alexander Dag, one of the great first overall pick busts. Not that I'm saying that you're a bust. It just when I see your name, it always reminds me of him. I'm not generally a leather band wearer. I am more of a bracelet, but this leather Tudor strap is very comfortable. Yes, I will say this. This is another thing. I'm not a big NATO guy or a leather strap guy, but the Tudor straps are really quality. Their NATOs are really comfortable, and I'm not a NATO guy. Their leather straps are very comfortable. They just, it is. Turkey bacon on that croissant with scrambled eggs. No cheese, just the scrambled eggs. Nice. Looks delicious. Good presentation. That restaurant always gives it, not only you eat with your eyes first. And it's cool. You have all three. It's called the Olympic set: gold, silver, and bronze. There you go. Exactly. Or you do the Olympic CK model. Pretty sure Joyce has had one in stock. Let me see if I can find that for you. Yeah, so this watch, this is the upgraded CK89. This is the Paris 24 bronze gold edition. So you have bronze gold for the case and a silver dial. So you have your bronze, silver, and gold all in one watch on that one. Esoteric says Tudor straps are supposedly made on a super old French loom. Not sure of the details, but interesting tie into the past. Yeah, the NATOs. Yeah, I've heard that before. My AD was telling me that when they picked up Tudor, they've been a Rolex AD for a long time. And when Tudor came back, they picked up Tudor. I remember she said that they had some kind of presentation on how those NATOs were made. But yeah. Yeah, Louis Spot, that is an interesting thing. I had the CK89, which is basically the same watch in stainless and without the guilloche dial. It was a silver dial, but it didn't have all the patterns in it. Sector dial watch, very cool, small seconds. But this one was for the Paris Olympics. Like I said, the case was made out of bronze gold. The dial was made out of silver. So you had your bronze, silver, and gold all in one piece. But I've heard from many people that the NATOs that they're literally like loomed, handmade loom NATO straps. So it's what it is. Hopefully, if you have one, you like it. We need 2 more upvotes for 30. 26 people watching, 28 upvotes. Pretty good ratio. Because 2 of those upvotes are me. Because I always want to hit the 30. I don't know why. It's a mental block. I have. The link is pinned at the top for anybody who might like to join the panel and help me save some of my voice. She's been screaming for 58 hours last week on the showroom floor. Oh, I bet you that looks great on that. The espresso brown rubber strap from Rubber Bee. That makes that look great. Don't tell BW. He hates the brown. He's not a brown guy. He has all his packages delivered by FedEx because he refuses to use UPS because of the color of their trucks. He hates the brown. Remember those commercials? What can brown do for you? But yeah, I bet you have to email me or Instagram me a picture of that once you get it and put it on. That looks great. Every spot says, so if it's brown, flush it down. That's BW's. BW would flush my watch. You can say, it's brown. I don't like it. Like I said, in certain lights, it's black. It can go from a chocolate to a lighter brown. I'm not normally a big Fotina guy, but with the tropical Dow, it actually works. I don't know what other. I honestly, it's hard to imagine. Like you couldn't do bright white indices on that, or I don't even think off white. I think you have to go with the Fotina on this No Time to Die. I don't know that anything else would really work with it. Oh, the other watch that's prevented me from buying, when we were speaking of Tudors, was the Ultra, the Pelagos Ultra in titanium, because this satisfies my titanium, my mesh bracelet, my straight bars, and kept me once again from purchasing the Aqua Timer. The Aqua Timer. I do love the Aqua Timer. Maybe I just trade everything and just own an Aqua Timer just to make people crazy. They would go nuts. They would hate it. They would hate it. But this thing, super sick. Really, really. It's so I can't tell. I can't stress to you how much in the heat this week, because it was in the 90s all week. It's so light that it was really a great summer watch in that regard. Because in the 90s in Pittsburgh is not comfortable. It's not like you're not used to it. It's not a tropical climate. It gets a little humid, it gets a little nasty. You know, it's never a dry heat. You know, it's just hot and humid. But the being under 100 grams, this thing is just killing. Like I said, I would always take a look at these when I would see them on Chrono or eBay or other places, you know, other people's websites and stuff. I could just never really find the deal on one that I was looking for. So I ended up just, I got a 20% discount and I'm happy with it on a new one. And I got a brand new one. So I don't have any of those. You just get the worries. Is it real? Is it not? You know, on certain watches. They do make a lot of fakes of these because I get them in my news feed all the time on different platforms. You know, I have people that sent me friend requests and follow requests and stuff on different stuff. And I see a bunch of watches. I'm like, oh, they're a watch person. I don't pay that much attention. And then as they come up in my news feed, I'm like, oh, those are fake watches. Well, I don't want fake watches. I gotta get rid of them. Get rid of them because they're selling fake watches. You know, but I see a lot of these on there. So to have the peace of mind of buying it new, getting what I consider to be a good deal on it. In fact, I've always kind of liked this watch. I like the 300s in general. I know a lot of people don't like the helium escape valve. I think it gives it a little bit. When you see it, you immediately know that it's Seamaster. The crown action is good. Now I will tell you, the one little negative is when it's on the wrist. No, and I don't know that I can make you hear this, but when it's off the wrist, there is a little rotor. I don't think it's not. It's faint, and I had actually seen that on a couple of reviews. It's the only reason I probably ever looked at it or noticed it. Congrats, thanks, Exoteric. The best Seamaster. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Liberty Spot says Grok is saying that the titanium watches are better for summertime because of the lack of heat retention. I can believe that, based on a week of, like you said, 90 to 95 degrees all week. I can honestly believe that because it feels like like it's so light. It's like you're not wearing anything, and you really don't feel the heat or anything on it, and it's just comfortable. It's hard to say because it's comfortable because it's light, and the mesh is comfortable, but the Oyster is really comfortable. So it's hard to say which is the more comfortable watch. Because the Oyster bracelet, I'm convinced, is the best bracelet ever made. It is really, really, really comfortable. And the mesh is cool. I like the mesh with the straight bars. I think we talked a little bit about this last week. I was talking about the reason I buy so many Legend divers. Liberty Spot says it loses heat quicker than your body can raise it to 98.6. It makes sense. Like I said, just based on 1 week of ownership, it does make sense. It's just so light and so comfortable. It's just cool looking. It's just a badass looking watch. Just that little bit of red in the Seamaster on the tip of the second hand. It just sort of gives it just a little bit of pop. But I can't imagine this watch with anything but the faux patina with the tropical dial and bezel. And like I said, faux patina is normally not my thing, but what else would you put on here? You know what I mean? Like with the tropical, I think you almost have to have the faux patina. I think bright white would be too shocking of a contrast. If I was to change one thing on it, I might polish the handset a little more than it's more of a brush on the handset and around the indices. Around the indices is fine because the faux patina, is what you pick up. Put a little bit more polish on the hand just so it's a little bit easier to do. But that's nitpicking. That is nitpicking. And then our good friend Anthony, who actually introduced me to the guys at Joyce's, he's looking at the gold. I'm pretty sure this is the one he was looking at with the red bezel, full gold, full bronze gold. That is, in person, it's a beautiful watch. It really is. I would never spend that kind of money on watching myself, but I can see where you would like that. Black dial, bronze gold handset and indices, bronze gold case and mesh bracelet is cool. But it seems like instead of just updating the traditional Seamaster 300 bracelet, that what they're doing is coming out with all these things on these meshes. So this is the new no date black, with the old school wave pattern on it. But what I was talking about earlier, this No Time to Die at 10.6 retail, we'll just talk retail, 62. So 6,200, I couldn't remember if it was 6 or 60. I thought 6 or 63. Now it's 6,200 for a standard issue Seamaster. Now, I've owned that white one. It's an amazingly beautiful watch. I have had it on, I bought this, the stainless version of this strap for it, and it's beautiful. And it's ceramic dial and ceramic bezel and exhibition case back. So you're, in a lot of ways, in a date. So you're getting those things. They really need to update the bracelet on it, but it's a great watch at 6,200. You can get a discount on that and be very happy. Was always my issue with the No Time to Die was the pricing. Because the pricing on that watch is freaking expensive. Let's see here. Gosh. I'll pull that up here in a second. Check the chat real quick. Yeah, that's it. Anthony says that's the one. It's gorgeous. And I saw it in the case. I was like, damn, that really looks so much better than I thought it would. The renders. Liberty Spot likes the titanium better. Esoteric says, I'm thinking that 9K gold will patina and get somewhat dark. Yeah, this will patina as well. And I think that one has an aluminum bezel as well, so that you'll get kind of personalize the watch a little bit over time. You know? 9 karat gold is like eating a Mars bar instead of a Snickers. Why even do it? It's funny. It's a totally different experience. Watches on wood. What? But while we're waiting for a reply, let me pull this up. Share this tab. And this was my 300M when I put it on the steel mesh. But see how much of that case shows? More of the case shows because it's thicker. But it's a gorgeous watch. It really is. The 300 is a great watch. Other than the No Time to Die and some of the other special editions, the white, as far as the standard ones go, I was always a big fan of this polar dial with the black bezel. It just really popped. The red popped in the Seamaster. The red on the second hand really pops against that white. But you're always looking for a different bracelet option. Not that the bracelet isn't comfortable. It just looks like you walked out of 1995. That's all I have to say about that. Holy crap, send money now. Circular Drama Inc. Thanks for coming by. He says, hello, Lucha. Chat, I have uploaded. Thanks for the unboxings, Lucha, on TFC. See you soon, pal. Absolutely. I feel like the only person, I think I am the only person that's ever really unboxed something on there. So I'd actually unbox on JJ's because I got to watch on Tuesday, so I did it on the Tuesday night show. But it was nice to come on and unbox for the rest of the crowd on the Franchise Club last night. Sorry you weren't there, but it was always fun to be there with Paz and Mo. Good guys, good times. I liked unboxing the Rolex, especially on there, because you and Mo and Paz are. I find you guys to be entertaining, and really that's what I look for in the streams is to laugh and if we can make fun of people a little bit, that's fun too. Whatever. But it seems like I get what's going on there, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. It is appreciated. Like I said, we're not looking for much. We aren't full scale grift here. We just want to pay the bills, and the whole reason I turned the channel back on was for Brian wanted to run some streams. He was on vacation last week, so Brian was looking for a place where he can run some, just chat about the watches he's looking at and stuff. So I think that'll be fun as well. Yes, SBW. You get a good look at the stuff I watch. Watches, wrestling, the Pope, NASCAR, and Fox News. Pretty good representation there. So when you're buying all these watches and wearing them out and about, do you ever go past a gray market dealer's window and see an Aqua Timer and hear Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You" in your head? Yeah, I would. I don't know why I love that watch. I don't know what it is. Just do. And I don't buy it because I'm afraid, I'm afraid of being made fun of on the Franchise Club. I just afraid you guys will alienate me for owning an Aqua Timer. Miguel Alonso, welcome to the show. He says, brother wasn't a mega fan, but got a deal on an orange bezel, orange band. Oh, it's a great watch. It's a great watch. I owned the creamsicle on a bracelet for a while, and it's a great watch. It's another one like this one where the bezel looms, but the ceramic bezel on that, the pop on that bezel is amazing. The white, the contrast of the white with the orange, it's one of my favorites. In fact, we can go find let's go to the shorts. There it is. There was my creamsicle. Check her out. But on the rubber strap, I'd imagine it's even more comfortable. It's a big, thick, heavy watch. But beautiful. The polished lyre lugs, that orange ceramic bezel, any of the bezels. The Planet Ocean, in a lot of ways, has a better bezel than the 300M because it's truly round and it's a little bit easier to operate because it's not scalloped. It's got the coin edge. It's a great watch. The double broad arrows on the handset, second hand just floats over. And you can see what I was telling you about the AR coating on the outside and the inside on that. I mean, it's like the crystal almost disappears. Whereas on the No Time to Die, because it's only on the inside, you do get a lot more glare. What a great watch. Good choice. Good choice, and welcome to the show. Once on Wood says, Brian's having you on work. He just goaded you back in the dining live streams. I know, right? It feels like he just got catfished. I have to watch the Iron Claw. I've watched so many documentaries on him. I used to get, it's funny because World Class Championship Wrestling, which where the Von Erich family owned and wrestled out of, used to be on the Christian Broadcasting Network for some reason. So we could watch them before WWE went truly national and global. You could actually watch World Class Championship Wrestling. So my wrestling here in Pittsburgh, I could watch WWE was on all the time, or WWF at the time. World Class Championship Wrestling out of Dallas, or you could watch Georgia Championship Wrestling on the Who's the Majigger? TBS 605. I'm gonna have to, but I do have to check out the actual movie. She's a beauty Clark, absolutely, Miguel, absolutely. The Planet Ocean's a great freaking watch. Zac Efron played Kevin Bonner. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I am a big fan of the Planet Ocean line. I had that one, and I had. Hold on, while we're going down memory lane here, I had this was just, even for me, I have to admit, this was too big. It was too thick, because this one was over a millimeter thicker than the regular Planet Ocean. But it was a cool looking one. Look how thick that thing is. Look at it. It's a giant. It literally is a hockey puck on your wrist. That black and white bezel, if they could do that on a thinner watch, it's a really cool looking watch. It's a good watch. But again, when you look at a Seamaster 300M, you look at a Seamaster 300, you look at a Seamaster Aquaterra, you look at a Seamaster Planet Ocean, or you look at an Ultra Deep, they have different dials. And that's the one thing that Rolex doesn't give you. They don't give you any variation. Everything's the same, you know? And so one of the attractions to Omega for me is that you get different stuff. It looks different, different colors, different cases, different dials, different helium escape valves. Now, I will say on the Planet Ocean, I don't like the helium escape valve as much because I prefer the Reese's peanut butter cup version that's on the 300M versus that more kind of circular squared off one. Doesn't quite have the character, but it's there. James Bond needs to have somewhere to put his laser tool. Right? And what are you going to do? That's a cool watch. That's a cool watch. That's a beaut. I like this one because you can see the sunburst in the on the dial. The black lacquer isn't as attractive. If it was between the black lacquer and the Explorer 40, I would have gone Explorer 40. I think. But with the sunburst pattern, it just kind of made it for me. I like that kind of stuff. There's Brian's IWC. That is a titanium watch on a strap, so I bet that's even much lighter because I had that. Which one did I have? I had, hold on, scroll. There was my CK859 Liberty Spot. That was the stainless with the silver dial. There it is. I had the Chrono AMG in titanium. Super light. Super, super light. I hate it. It had a deployant on it. It was the worst deployant I ever had. It would pop out of the holes, which was kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie. But I like that watch. The watch was cool because it had the carbon fiber dial. Kind of badass looking. And there's the Legend Diver on the mesh. A watch I've owned multiple times. Can't get it out of my head. It's a good looking watch. And as a fold over deployant, you can actually take links out of that one. Which I'm not always crazy about the look on the back because there's a couple lines where the links that come out, but I love that crosshatch pattern. I love that internal rotating bezel. It's a cool watch. Got a couple grand to spend on a watch. See that little lines there with a, not crazy about that, but the watch itself is amazing. Aquaterra, I've made a number of those. I kind of miss this watch. Zenith makes me mad. That had that 10-second spinner counter thing. That was a good piece too. Let's see where we're at here. Also, Wood says, true, Mark Omega made every different variation possible of every model line, and I don't know it when looking on the website. There's so a lot of watches on it. They could call that back a little bit. I bought a Sea Dweller 43. That's a great watch. Only Rolex I would buy besides the James Cameron. Those are the only two I really, other than the OP, would consider. What was the watch you owned for the least amount of time? Oof. Probably the Summer Blue Aquaterra. What watch haven't you had is a better question? I've had a lot of them, John, Great watch for the price. It is. That Zenith was a beautiful piece. That was another one I got a lot of compliments on. It was again that mix of brush and polish and cool integrated bracelet. The 10-second thing you can take or leave, but the watch itself was great. That's when I would, if I wanted to go back into an integrated sports bracelet watch, I would consider that again because it was a cool watch. I must say, that was a crap. That was a shitter, but it was cool looking. I had a number of those PRXs in the Glacier Blue. That was the watch that I owned the longest. I had that watch for 5 years. That was the Aquaterra with the gray, silvery gray dial with the blue indices and handset. That was a great looking piece. If they did that on the new bracelet with that colorway, I might consider that again, because that was a cool ass piece. Here's when I tried the NATO. Nah, didn't work for me. And it made a tall watch even taller. There's where I tried the black rubber on the deploying strap, and that was comfortable. I'm just not crazy about the look. Here's the Furlan Mari. Oh, the Aqua Racer. That's a underrated watch. Aqua Racer, the Tag Heuer Aqua Racer is a great piece. Very underrated watch. Another underrated watch, the Longines Spirit Zulu Time. Cool piece. Beautiful dial on this watch. Wait till the picture comes back around. Look at the dial on this thing. The dial on that watch is amazing. It really is. The green ceramic bezel is cool. I like the fact that they weren't trying to make it look like a Rolex GMT. It was just its own thing. Horus. Love me some Horus. That was a cool watch. The only thing I didn't like about that was the bracelet's comfortable and cool, but it has a little fold underneath the end link that looks off a little bit. That was a cool watch. That was a GMT. Tudor Ranger. That was my bicycling watch for a while on the rubber strap. It had a kind of a cool deployment on it. Looks like the Tudor shield. That was a nice bracelet. It was a comfy watch. People hate it. People hate it. The Polar, Alpina. You gotta own a lot of freaking watches. BHP, Brew. What the hell is wrong with me? There's the Aquaterra again. Great watch. Great watch. Aquaterra is hard to beat. Zen doesn't get enough love there, actually. You know what the problem with Zen is? You can't find them in a store. You have to, there's that one place, website you can buy them on. You just can't go look at one. Miguel says the new Tudor Pelagos 43, the Ultra, on my list when they come out with it in the blue. The Pelagos is a cool watch, but this is going to be my titanium watch. BW says, sent you a pic of a really nice Zen. I'll pull that up. Watch Soulwood says, which one do you regret getting rid of? Oof. That's a tough call. It's probably, well, this watch I really like. It was 5 years old, but it was a great watch. The Zenith, sometimes I miss that. In the Polaris, except I was just fearful if I ever had to send it for service again, it was going to be another nightmare. It was a cool watch. A lot of them. A lot of them I regret. Let me go pull this up. Oh, there we go. This is a 103, right? Oh, this is the Bell & Ross by Zen. I forgot about this. That's a cool watch. Look at that thing. Check it out. That is BW's Bell & Ross by Zen. Zen makes cool watches. You just can't, there's nowhere to go look at one. Kyle D, I missed you. How are you, sir? Hope you're well. Good to see you. Where am I at in my upvotes? Hold on. Get out of the Aquaterra picture. Over and oh my god, 29. I need one more upvote for 30. Dear God. No, I sold that one, Liberty Spot. It didn't go into anything. It was really flashy. That is a fully polished case with the turquoise style. It was really, really, really a little flashier for me. Caldi, like number 30. Cool. Woohoo. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's a little flashy for my style. And it didn't match anything that I wore a lot, you know. I wear some blue here and there. I'm a Penn State guy, for God's sake. But I don't only wear blue, or things with blue or green that would match that. It didn't, so I didn't wear it that much. Doing my best. Hope you are too. Still gotta watch last week's show. Yeah, go ahead. It's there with Brian. Brian will be doing some shows. Hang out, love talking watches, maintain, brother. I subscribe. Go Knowles. Go Knowles. There you go. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Miguel. It's good to see you. And congrats on the Planet Ocean and the Sea Dog. Those are two amazing pieces. Two of my favorites. Yeah, this watch is different because it's the Bell & Ross by Zinn, so it's not square. Zinn DNA in it. Kind of cool. So we're about 2.5 hours in. Luch is getting tired. Nobody wants to join the panel. My voice is cutting out. We'll go a few more minutes and wrap her up, I guess. Again, hit the notification button because Brian will be doing some streams. We just don't know exactly when. We'll be doing them on this channel. So he said, unless he just catfished me into doing Sunday streams again. Love the font. Yeah, the font is cool, especially on the 4. The 4 font is super cool on that. Super, super cool. Congrats on the new piece. I look forward to reaching your show to hear the story. Have a good Sunday, buddy. You too, Kyle D. You too. Rewatching the show. Yes. If you watched last week's show, you'll see me unveil because I unboxed it on JJ or on the franchise club. But the new Rolex that I got. The OP41. Cool piece. Anybody else got anything out there? Guys, we'll go another 10 minutes or so. We'll luch our way on out of here. I appreciate everybody for coming by. Spend some of your Sunday morning with me. Okay, so the Omega I just got this one Tuesday. So the No Time to Die is brandy new. I actually unboxed it on JJ's Tuesday night, and then again last night on the franchise club for Mo and company. And then the OP41 was unboxed on the franchise club probably a month ago on one of the Saturday night streams. And then I unveiled it on this channel last week because I hadn't been on for a few weeks. That watch, I can't, I know it sounds dumb. This might be, from a symmetrical standpoint, from a bracelet standpoint, from a brush to polish standpoint, to the sunburst style, might be the best. This might be the best watch ever. It's not very hype, but it's really, really cool. Saw myself from buying any big hitters until 2026. I'm having fun building watches from parts on AliExpress. I've made 6 now for colleagues at work. Very cool. Hopefully they appreciate them. Because most people just don't wear watches anymore. I don't have the Longines anymore. Every spot that Rolex is very nice. It is really nice. It's a simple piece, but again, symmetry, brush polish, white gold indices, handset, and crown. It's just cool. It's just a cool ass watch. It's very simple, but there's no cyclops. This 41, I think this is really more like a 40, maybe a 39.8, but it's got good dial aperture, better dial aperture than the OP40, than the Explorer 40 had, which I really like. I really like the Explorer 40, but this just, for me, made more sense. And the baton markers I really like. It's just cool. Just a cool piece. Very happy with it. As I am with this. This is just sick. This watch is sick. And again, symmetry, no date. White, titanium. James Bond. Who doesn't love James Bond? I guess there's some people. Thomas Burnett. Thank you for the super chat. Good to see the e-begging button is back, Lucha. With the Planet Ocean being 20 years old last week, do you think it's the best diver in the past 20 years? There's a lot I like about the Planet Ocean diver. It's we were talking about those earlier. I think it's one of the, I like the bezel better. I mean, I love this watch. No Time to Die is really cool. The Planet Ocean is hard to beat for a watch. And there are deals on those watches because a lot of people don't like the 43.5 millimeter case in the 16 thick. So you can find those deals, new and used, at a deal. I think I would love to see them do something for the 20th anniversary, but I really haven't seen much. I mean, they did those kind of, I didn't like those ones they did on the rubber strap a couple years ago because they brushed the entire case and took away part of the appeal of the Planet Ocean is the polished lyre lugs. They took that away on those ones. And I'd love to see them do some sort of tribute to the 20th anniversary. Freehand to me always looks bigger because no clutter on the dial. Yeah, three-handed watch, no clutter. It's hard to beat. And this one is, I can't tell you how comfortable this is, how much fun it is to wear, and how kind of stealthy it is because it doesn't have any polish. Like I said, I'm not normally a big Fotina fan, but I don't know what color you would put with this. If I had to pick between this and the Planet Ocean, I would probably pick this. Although I really like the Planet Ocean, I have the wrist for it. This watch just speaks to me. It speaks to me. We've got another 6 minutes here, and we'll be on our way. Start our day. Thomas, I gotta catch the replay of your show. I caught a little bit of it before I went to work yesterday, but I had to get there early because the month is ending, and that's always a big deal in retail automotive. It's a 30-day world, if you will. So we're busy as busy can be. Busy, busy, busy. But I appreciate everybody for coming by. Again, my next watch is probably just going to be that new Doxa Sub 200. I really like that watch. Whenever it's released for sale, with the stainless bezel and the rubber strap. It's kind of a skin diver watch, a good pool watch, if you will. Not that you can't take the no time to die into the pool, but it's just kind of a fun bounce around watch. No time to die, great pickup. I think I may have said once the next Bond film and watches it for its ins and outs, they'll discontinue it. I believe that, my watch channel, and I say that because I bought this one new at the AD, and one of the reasons I did was I couldn't really find a good deal on a used one. I was looking for one like a year or two old that still had some warranty on it. And they were expensive, and so even though they boosted the price on these new $600, getting the 20% off put me pretty close to what used ones were going for. And there's a certain peace of mind buying a new one and stuff too. So I'm very happy with it. Very happy with it. It's slick. And because it's a titanium watch, I'm not looking at the Pelagos Ultra anymore. I'm not looking at another Longines Legend Diver because I had a number of those because it's got the mesh bracelet and straight bars that are really the biggest part of the appeal of that watch. I'm not looking at the Aqua Timer because it's a dive watch. No Submariners or anything like that. My watch channel says used and third-party prices aren't at enough of a discount. Through it makes sense. It did. I just bit the bullet and called them up, said, what can you do for me on it? And made me a really nice deal on it. Now, I bought a number of watches there. I've sent customers there. I spruiked their channel, so I'm sure I get they like me. So that helps. Well, someone says, very pleased for you, Mark. What are you going to unbox next week? All right. Turning over a new leaf. I think the OP this I can do a 3-watch collection. I'm trying to decide what the third one is. Choices being, I move on from the Spirate. Do we do another Rolex, like an Explorer 2? Or a Sea Dweller 43? Or do we go three-hand no-date watches and pick up a big Pilot's 43 from IWC? I don't know. Those are kind of the things in my head. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But for now, we've got 2 minutes. We're at the 2-minute warning. And again, I appreciate everybody for coming out. I appreciate, let's go through the supers here real quick. We had our friend Anthony, Western Pennsylvania guy, who actually introduced me to Joyce's Jewelers here on the live stream. He is checking out the full bronze gold. It's a beautiful piece. It's better looking in person, you would think, than it should be. Billy, $5 super chat for the internet. We had Circular Drama Inc. Thank you, Curly. It says, hello, Lucha chat. I am upvoted. Thanks for the unboxings, Lucha, on the Franchise Club. See you soon, pal. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Curly, Mo, Paz, Alibaba, Ali Reza, all those guys are good guys. Fun. Entertainment. I like some entertainment. Good to see the e-bagging button is back, Lucha. Well, we turned the channel back on for Brian, and then he's like, because he wants to run some streams, and it was actually his idea to turn the monetization back on because he said if we pay for StreamYard that way. So basically, with the whatever they take out, if I can get it to $100 a month, we are in good shape. That will pay the light bill of the electric, keep the lights on, the internet going, and the StreamYard going for the show. And we'll go at it like that. And Muhammad Ali, $10 super chat. Thanks for the show today. You know what? Thanks for sharing your breakfast with us. Mo's one of our favorites. Obviously, always here. Would you ever go precious metal for the best ball? I had two-tone Rolexes in the past. Two-tone SEMA Charisma in the past. It's a little. I'm not a flashy guy. I'm a hockey player. Yeah. We're simple, humble bumpkins with hard heads. I don't know that I think BW with the super stick. I gotta go over to. It's the only thing with the super sticks is you have to go over. You've got a dancing pair. Thank you, BW. You guys are the best. I appreciate you guys. BW, I can't wait to. I was talking to my friend Jen in Orlando. She's moving here in the next couple of weeks, so I'll wait for her to get settled in, and I'd like to fly down to visit her, and hopefully while I'm in the great state of Florida, to see you and Brian and Mathis. That would be fun. Something I would look forward to doing and meeting. Like, I haven't met any of the three of you actually, only on the streets. So that would be cool. But with that being said, we got 2 hours and 45 minutes in. I'm quickly losing my voice. Hit the subscribe and thanks, Johnny O. Thank you. You guys are too good to me. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for stopping by. And it's fun to bullshit about watches with you. You know. There's different channels and different places to go and different places to go for, content. If you can go watch content, drama content, fun content, whatever. But yeah, looking forward to it, BW. I am as well. Good to meet you guys. For the late tips. Yes. Thank you, Liberty Spot. Guys, you're too good. We appreciate it. And remember, say something nice to someone, do something nice for someone, be the light that you would like to see shining from others, make the world a better place, be a good human. How's that? That's a good way to go out. So I will see you guys next week, since I guess Brian has catfished me into coming back. Hopefully Brian will do a couple shows. I did see some pictures that he did get to visit Kesla when he was in California. He was on vacation. He's coming back today, I think. So check out other channels. I know JJ has a show tonight. I'm not sure what's going on with OC. I know he's had some issues. So hopefully he gets that worked out. Franchise Club's always fun. JJ's always good watch talk. And go from there. Find the stuff you enjoy and support those channels. Peace out, gentlemen. I don't think we had any ladies today, so I can just say gentlemen. Right? Is that true? I don't know. I think it is. All right, we'll play the No Time to Die video again. Bye, Lucha. Bye, Doc. Good to see you, Doc. Yeah, Doc, you're in Florida too. When you come down, we'll try and hook everybody together somewhere where it's kind of convenient for everybody. Like I said, my friend Jen will probably stay with her. She lives in Orlando. We'll go from there. But we will head on out on the No Time to Die video. right, guys. Be good.